The feeling of being the sovereign author of your own choices is perhaps the most profound and persistent illusion of the human condition. We move through our days believing in a core self, a rational captain steering the ship of our life, making deliberate selections from a menu of possibilities. Yet, a formidable and growing body of evidence from neuroscience and psychology suggests this captain is more of a figurehead, with the real navigation occurring in hidden decks below conscious awareness. Our decisions are not born in a vacuum of pure reason. They are sculpted, often predetermined, by a suite of deep-seated cognitive biases that filter reality and whisper directives to our conscious mind. Understanding these biases does not negate the experience of choice, but it radically reframes it, revealing the invisible architecture that shapes our so-called free will. One of the most powerful architects is the confirmation bias, a relentless curator of information that seeks harmony over truth. This bias acts as a personal public relations team for your existing beliefs, tirelessly searching for evidence that supports your current worldview while dismissing, ignoring, or distorting any data that challenges it. When you're presented with a political argument, a health recommendation, or a simple social rumor, your brain does not first assess its veracity. Instead, it checks its alignment with your prior convictions. This process is so swift and automatic that contradictory facts often feel personally threatening, triggering defensive reactions rather than intellectual reconsideration. The result is that our will is not free to choose based on all available information. It is constrained to choose from a pre-selected, bias-confirmed subset of reality, making our decisions feel more inevitable than elective. Closely related is the anchoring bias, which demonstrates how a single, often irrelevant piece of initial information can tether our subsequent judgments and negotiations. The first number mentioned in a salary discussion, the initial price of a car on a lot, or even a random digit generated by a spinner can disproportionately influence your final estimate or offer. Your conscious mind believes it is making a reasoned adjustment from a starting point, but that starting point was never neutral. It was an anchor, cast into the sea of your cognition, limiting the range of where your final decision can dock. This shows that the freedom of our will in evaluation and negotiation is severely circumscribed by arbitrary first impressions, a phenomenon exploited in everything from marketing to diplomacy. Then there is the availability heuristic, a mental shortcut that judges the likelihood or importance of an event by how easily examples come to mind. You are more afraid of a shark attack than a drowning, because vivid cinematic images of the former are readily available, even though the latter is statistically far more probable. Recent, dramatic, or emotionally charged memories dominate your risk assessment. This bias means our decisions, especially those concerning fear, investment, and daily priorities, are not calculated from objective statistics, but from the salience and emotional weight of our recollections. The will is thus guided not by what is true, but by what is memorable, a significant distinction that skews our perception of danger and opportunity alike. The sunk cost fallacy reveals our profound aversion to loss and inconsistency, shackling our future choices to past investments of time, money, or effort. We continue to watch a terrible movie because we paid for the ticket, persist with a failing project because of the years already invested, or stay in a detrimental relationship because of the history shared. The rational choice would be to evaluate future prospects independently of past expenditures, which are gone regardless. Yet, the psychological pain of admitting a loss, of appearing wasteful or fickle, often overpowers this logic. Here, the will is not free to cut its losses. It is held captive by the narrative of its own prior commitments, compelled to justify them even at greater future cost. Finally, the optimism bias paints our future with strokes of unwarranted positivity, leading us to overestimate our chances of success and underestimate our vulnerability to risk. We believe we are less likely than others to get divorced, develop a disease, or be in a car accident. This bias is a double-edged sword. It fuels motivation and resilience, but also breeds complacency and poor planning. Our decisions about health, finances, and safety are therefore not made with clear-eyed realism. They are filtered through a protective, self-enhancing lens that makes the future seem brighter and more controllable than it objectively is, a necessary fiction for mental well-being that nevertheless distorts our agency. Recognizing these puppeteers of the mind is not a cause for despair, but for a more enlightened form of agency. The path to a more genuine autonomy begins with metacognition, the practice of thinking about your own thinking. When you feel a strong conviction, pause and actively seek disconfirming evidence. Before entering a negotiation, establish your own independent valuation to resist external anchors. When assessing risk, consciously consult base rates and statistics rather than relying on vivid anecdotes. When facing a decision, ask yourself if you are continuing because of future value or past investment, and regularly conduct a premortem, imagining a future failure to counteract the rosy haze of the optimism bias. By installing these deliberate mental checks, you do not eliminate the biases, for they are woven into the fabric of cognition. Instead, you create a space for reflection, a brief moment where the captain can question the whispers from below. True freedom may not lie in the absence of influence, but in the courageous and continuous act of examining it, thereby transforming automatic reaction into considered, though never entirely unconstrained response. The ultimate human liberty, then, is perhaps the freedom to understand the very mechanisms that seek to determine us.